Time changes, seasons change, civilizations change, the world map changes. However, what don't seem to change are the eternal friends and foes of human nature. Recall The Tempest, penned by the Shakespeare, and it is revealed that deceit, lust, and covetousness are part of human life. Hare Krishna. I am Malini Devidasi, aka Dr. Mamta Mahanti, bringing to you yet another pearl of leadership lessons from Sri Valmiki Ramayana. Our today's pastime is that of sage Uttanga and the hunter Kalik. Narad Muni continues to narrate this second pastime to the four Kumaras. Once, in the earlier eras of Kali Yuga, there lived a sage named Kalik. His job on recreation was to covet property, women, criticizing, hurting the innocent, killing cows, brahmanas, you name it, and he had done it all. Once, while he was on his glorious pastimes, he reached a city named Savi Nagar. The city was plush with jewelry, ornaments, variety of resources, rich shops and beautiful women. In such a city, there was a temple of Sri Keshavji. Sri Keshavji meaning Ramji. The temple was bedded with innumerable gold pots. And that was it. It was decided that Kalik would amass most of it and just leave. Thinking this, he entered the temple. And what does he find? He finds that Sage Uttanga, who generally lived alone there, sitting and meditating on the Lord and his name. The hunter saw this sage as a hindrance to executing his plans, and so he decides to come back the same day, the same midnight. He did return, and after plundering and taking away maximum precious items, puts his leg on the sleeping sage's chest, holds his throat with one hand, takes out his sword to slit the sage's throat with the other. He was about to do that. Just then, the sage wakes up, and very peacefully and calmly, he asks the hunter Kali, "O great soul, why do you want to kill me? What harm have I done to you?" A sober person remains non-violent and does not resort to such means unnecessarily. And pious people always see good even in the envious and the foolish. The sage continues his preaching to the hunter. He says that a great soul is one who tolerates the various abuses thrown at him or her and doesn't react even in dire circumstances. Such a soul is very dear to the Lord. He says that a humble, saintly souls, even at the brink of destruction at another person's door, do not harbor enviousness. There are many people, cruel people, who unnecessarily torture innocent creatures. For example, a fisherman is an enemy to fish. Complaining people are enemy to the saintly souls. And a hunter is an enemy to the deer. This I is very powerful in the material world. My family, my wife, my children, my wealth, my house, all this selfishness causes much pain to a soul, a living entity. The respect for a person is there only as long as his friends or relatives can enjoy his property and money. Listening to such enlightening talk, even in such a challenging situation by the sage, softens Kali's Kalik's heart. And very humbly he inquires from the sage, "O great sage, then what do I do about the sinful activities to wash away the sinful activities that I have committed in this life and in previous lives?" Listening to his honest inquiry, the sage replies, "Just listen to the auspicious Ramayana." And if you remember, just like Kali and Malati of the previous pastime, Kalik too was liberated just by hearing this auspicious Ramayana. Sage Uttanga gave many teachings in the pastime, but what is in there for us to learn? Well, the first, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Kahe, Love Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Ho, meaning association matters. Association with great saintly souls helps us in remaining enlightened and grounded. Hoarding more than required is a questionable tendency. Self-introspection and training of mind have to be done all the time, every moment. Covetousness may hit back today or tomorrow. The intent behind every act matters. Losing control in challenging situations may not yield the desired best results. It's better to be direct. It gives clarity of intent and paves the way for future. Always have scope in your mind that other people may change for all the good reasons. So never criticize. Well, this leads to a very beautiful management principle given by Douglas McGregor. Once upon a time in the history of management, there was Theory X. Theory X stated that people generally are lazy and don't want to work. And this gave to the carrot and the stick philosophy. It went on further to state that people do not like to take responsibility but expect all types of security within an organization. And then came Douglas McGregor, cutting Theory X and giving the human side of enterprise Theory Y. He said that this type of an attitude can create a lot of distrust in the organization and that the leaders may find it very difficult to work with their teams. And that the organization will simply reduce to a state policy just directing and controlling and guiding people. No creative work is possible in such an environment and will give the oppressive face of an organization which may really not be good. So he gave the human side of enterprise his Theory Y that states that work is a natural activity, which is true. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that no soul can be inactive. We are active either in mind or in body. So every soul needs to dissipate his or her mental, physical or spiritual energy. So this theory basically cuts out the very cynical way of approaching towards the spirit of souls that exist around. Secondly, Gregor said that incentives and rewards are welcome only if they bring about an internal change in attitude and commitment towards work and culture, lest despite good rewards and incentives, the organization may face a very high attrition. A compassionate face of an organization will automatically see a very progressive, consistent rise in the performance of its people. So too much of disciplinary action may not necessarily yield the desired performance by its force. And this leads to another quote from the another verse from the Bhagavad Gita from chapter 5 verse number 18. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Swapake Cha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. A humble sage, by the virtue of knowledge, sees with equal vision. A learned and a gentle Brahmana, a dog and a dog eater. So it is eminent that the leaders take association of the great and enlightened souls and read authentic scriptures. And before indulging in too much of disciplinary action, understand that it may give rise to a skewed and a very mechanical performance rather than a soulful and energetic one. Hope this helps. Hare Krishna.